You know this person. Maybe you are this person. Everyone sits around the same backyard, same evening, same air. And by the end of the night, one person is covered in bites, while someone else, sitting right next to them, doesn't get touched. Once. You've probably heard every theory: blood type, eating too many bananas, drinking beer, sweeter blood, whatever that means. Almost none of it is actually true, and the real explanation is written directly into your skin, in a way that has almost nothing to do with anything you ate, drank, or wore that night. Most people assume mosquito bites are basically random. Just bad luck, wrong seat, wrong outfit, wrong night. That's not quite right, and the real answer is far stranger than that. Some people are what researchers now seriously call mosquito magnets. And it isn't a personality quirk or an old wives' tale. It's a measurable, repeatable chemical signature coming off your skin. One that mosquitoes can detect from a distance, and one that appears to stay remarkably consistent for years, no matter what you eat, how often you shower, or which bug spray aisle you've tried. Here's the foundation. Female mosquitoes need blood to develop their eggs, and they don't find you by sight. They hunt using carbon dioxide from your breath, body heat, and a cocktail of odor compounds rising off your skin, produced largely by the bacteria that naturally live there. Scientists have understood this basic hunting system for decades. What they didn't know until recently is why some people's chemical signal reads to a mosquito like a 5-star restaurant, while someone standing right next to them barely registers at all. In 2022, researcher Leslie Vosshall and her team at Rockefeller University, including lead author Maria Elena De Obaldia, ran a study that finally nailed this down, published in the journal Cell. Volunteers wore nylon stockings on their arms to collect their natural skin scent. Then researchers fed those scent samples into a device that let mosquitoes choose between different people's odors side by side. The same small group of volunteers kept winning over and over across years of repeated testing. These weren't people the mosquitoes randomly liked on a given day. They were consistent, reliable magnets, chosen again and again no matter when the test was run. But that's only half the story, and honestly, what comes next is even stranger. When the researchers dug into what actually made these people's scent so irresistible, they found significantly elevated levels of specific compounds called carboxylic acids, produced by skin bacteria breaking down the natural oils in your skin. The mosquito magnets in the study had noticeably higher levels of these acids than everyone else, and crucially, that level didn't seem to shift much based on diet, soap, or deodorant. It behaved less like a habit you could change and more like a fixed part of your personal chemistry, quietly broadcasting from your skin whether you wanted it to or not. And here's the part that reframes everything. This isn't just an individual quirk that happened to settle on certain people at random. In 2015, researcher James Logan and colleagues at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine ran a study comparing identical twins to fraternal twins, and found that identical twins, who share essentially all of their genes, had far more similar attractiveness to mosquitoes than fraternal twins did. In other words, whether you're the person mosquitoes leave alone or the person they hunt down at every barbecue, appears to be substantially written into your genes, shaping the exact bacterial ecosystem and skin chemistry that mosquitoes are keying in on, long before you ever picked a lotion or a laundry detergent. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If the reason mosquitoes have targeted you specifically every single summer at every gathering for your entire life was never really about what you ate or wore, but about a chemical signature written into your skin before you had any say in it at all, how much of what you've always chalked up to bad luck is actually just your own biology quietly broadcasting a signal you can't smell, but something else never stops noticing. So here's what's actually happening every time one person gets eaten alive, while everyone else at the table walks away untouched. It isn't about blood type. It isn't about what you had for dinner or how sweet your blood supposedly is. It isn't random at all. It's that your skin, shaped in part by your own genetics, produces a specific chemical signature, one dominated by compounds like carboxylic acids, that mosquitoes can detect and prefer with startling consistency year after year. You were never unlucky. You were, quite literally, advertising.